Todd Stein. Thank you very much for tuning into my live show today. Um, a little blurry, maybe. I have announcements. So I had a big announcement last week that I was talking about, and I bet you I can brighten this a little bit by just. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Said I had an announcement because I was taking out a YouTube celebrity personality, and I'm going to reveal everything that happened. So I'll do that in about 10 minutes. I'll answer questions in the meantime. I am, oh my God, behind schedule for the expeditioners that are coming out very shortly. I haven't called you guys, and I need to call you guys to arrange the pickup at the airport and everything. Just to get confirmation on all that stuff, so you know who you are. You who are coming out on the next expedition. That will be fantastic. I'm very excited about it. Got some really cool people coming out, some crazy people, some people that are very like Sean Jeter is just like Sean Jeter is this paranormal guy who sees stuff all over the place. There's Bigfoot around, Bigfoot, a mountain lion charges us. It was a Bigfoot, but some of the time he's right. I actually have an area out there called the Jeter structure. So crazy people are the ones that often really push the paradigm and make that discovery happen. And I'm so grateful for Sean Jeter because he pushes me right out of my comfort zone. He makes me uncomfortable, how hard he pushes, how hard he questions me. And at the end of the day, I'm forced to grow and I love it. So, and I got another Texan coming out and just some really cool people coming out. I don't have permission to talk about them yet. Sean's a repeater. And I didn't get permission. Sean comes on the show. Sean will probably be on the show today. So got Mr. Penner in the house. We have a Penner playground out there. Another gentleman that pushes my paradigm. Probably one of the coolest things. Like if, the day I take out you, Joe Rogan or Russell Brand or someone big like that, they're going to the Penner playground because that place. I'd like to see anybody try to be skeptical about Sasquatch after they see the structures and the twists and the breaks, and it's just incredible what happened there about 8 years ago now. They have never been back to my knowledge. There's no evidence that they've come back. And that's something you really look for in great Sasquatch habitat. So the Penner Playground is way off the beaten path. A logging happened there about 8 years ago, 9 years, probably 9 years ago now. And it's likely the Sasquatch were just really upset about it. They were up on this ridge and they just went nuts, building structures and everything all in a specific time period, like probably within that year. And they've never made another break or structure or anything in that area since. So it's likely a response to a traumatic event, which is often what I see structures are for. Like in Nordegg, where Jeff Meldrum we had apples taken by a Sasquatch with tracks in the ground, and we had all that success. And Jeff Meldrum saw a Sasquatch maybe 200 yards away from that Sasquatch structure. That structure was built in response to the road that they came through there. So they came through there with a big D9 or something and busted up a road into this beautiful habitat, and the Sasquatch didn't like it, and they were going to start logging, and the Sasquatch didn't like it. So in response to that traumatic event, a place that had been peaceful and harmonious and beautiful nature equilibrium forever, had always been that way, had now been besmirched by men putting in a road. I mean, can you imagine? It's quiet and it's serenity for all time. Like it's all that place has ever been. The very first humans come through there. What's going on? Why did my phone just get dark? I don't like that. Automation kind of scares me sometimes. Yeah, my phone just went a little darker. Don't know what that means. Hopefully, I won't lose this live feed because now it's really dark. These freaking automations. If I go to look at if I go to look at the functions, then everything will go. I'll lose this live feed. So, and it's going to be a shorter live show today, ladies and gentlemen, because I am so freaking far behind. Now it's bright again. What do I do? What do I do? Darker, brighter, darker. I don't know. Anyway, the Penner Playground is absolutely fantastic. Incredible spot. Everybody I've ever taken there is very impressed. And I'll ask some questions because again, I'm gonna hold a good maybe even till like 15 minutes into the live show. I'll announce what happened. I'll announce the YouTuber and exactly what happened in extensive detail, as much detail as you can possibly want. You're gonna walk away from this live show completely satisfied. Mm. Hello again from Snow Peak, Oregon. Hello, Tim. This time a year ago, one has been video for a relative. I don't know what you mean, Lance. David Daniels, it makes me feel like people don't want to be real because, like Survivorman, he's being skeptical for skeptic's sake. You don't need a body on the table to prove the existence. Well, and David, you're right. The Skywalker gibbon, the precedent has been set. There is no body for a Skywalker gibbon, and they're scientifically accepted. Those are the parameters under which I was going into a court of law, where I was going to sue Fish and Wildlife for being derelict in their duty to come out with me, and I would show them a Sasquatch. People don't really get that or understand that. So when I go into Fish and Wildlife and I say Sasquatch are real, come out with me and I will show you a Sasquatch. That's what I do. Take people on expedition. It's really not rocket science. In a 3 month ecological survey, I'd have them definitive proof Sasquatch exists, footage, DNA, everything they got with the Skywalker given. Then they come back and then they can acknowledge the species. They refuse to do that, so that's why I took Fish and Wildlife to court, and I will take Fish and Wildlife to court on in any state or province in Canada and the United States. Well, most places where there's Sasquatch hotspots. They're completely derelict in their duty. The mission statement of Fish and Wildlife is they're stewards of all wildlife species. That's a lie. They do not do their job. The evidence that Sasquatch exists is beyond a reasonable doubt. I would have annihilated them in court. All they did was they made sure I didn't get to court with all their legal games they played. And good for you guys. You played your legal trickery very well. You made sure it didn't get to court because they knew damn well if it ever, even they told me if I ever got to court, they're like, we're going to spend decades making sure this never gets to trial. The trial never goes through because your evidence is so overwhelming. You would prove like I would prove a murder case beyond a reasonable doubt, and that proof, David Daniels, is what you're referring to. I'm sure. Like the evidence is so beyond a reasonable doubt, guys. There's thousands, tens of thousands of eyewitnesses. There's DNA, dermal ridges. There's Jeff Meldrum could sit down and prove he has proven beyond a reasonable doubt because the feet are accepted as real from the Sasquatch species. So there's really it's unprecedented how much information and how much evidence is available for the proof of this species, and yet you'll get these. I'm just gonna call them like douchebags, like twits that go, "Oh, come on, Bigfoot." Well, the evidence is overwhelming, and to be disrespectful to a topic before you've ever looked at the evidence is the surest way to live in complete and utter ignorance your whole life. Listen to what we're saying. Got some pretty significant evidence here. The Patterson footage would blow your mind if people would shut up and listen to the undeniable truth of that film. So yeah, it's pretty awesome, pretty impressive. So up near Duffy Lake, cool, Lance. Thank you for telling me that. Um, oh, and we got maintenance worker here. How you doing, my friend? It's Brian. Hey, brother, keep up the work. COVID got me down right now. What? Oh man, yeah, I got that. I got a pretty bad sickness, and I'm feeling really good though. And I'm actually getting healthier from peptides. If you haven't heard of peptides, you should look them up. They are the future. They're an absolute miracle. I would love to mentor and help people with them. It's something I'm probably going to get into in the not so distant future because man, they are spectacular. Like what a freaking game changer. My like I don't really this doesn't really matter to me, but you notice like all my eye wrinkles are gone, my skin's all tightening up, and that superficial stuff doesn't really matter to me. But the truth is, like internally, my organs, my heart, my lungs are getting really healthy. I'm taking a specific peptide that's clearly, for the first time, my cold is like 80% gone. That's because of these incredible peptides I'm taking. They're absolutely game changers and they're so amazing. Look them up or stay tuned for more information on that. Oh my God, it's world changing these peptides, guys. It's going to be the absolute future. Yeah, get better soon, Brian. James met Brian. That's so cool, the cooperation here. Hi, everyone. Hello, Julie. Thanks for tuning in today. Um, Discovering Bigfoot by far is the best documentary on the subject. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. By what season of the year is the most active? Well, spring is pretty cool. Um, Summer's mediocre. Like July was good. August when it gets hot for not good, and then September. So fall, in my opinion, so is the best. Sasquatch has been caught on video. Yes, I agree, Lance. Jason Hubert says that's something I understand. Royal Creations, Todd. Oh, I am a full-time researcher. If you'd like to support with a donation, go to Patreon. For those of you on Patreon waiting patiently for the last little section of the California section of my documentary, just be patient, please. It's all coming. Uh, I'm really just holy crap. When I explain what happened with the YouTuber, you'll start to understand why I've just been like, man, just like a chicken with my head. I tell people I'm a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. That's what my life is. So just trying to keep it going. So George Nielsen, Todd is the OG of Bigfoot research. OG? What's that stand for? Original. Well, anyways, thank you. It sounds like a compliment. If you ever if you ever make it back to court here in California, I'll drive there. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, we did start with Claudia Ackley, who has since passed. Respect to Claudia Ackley and her work in the discovery of Bigfoot. She has passed, and that's really she was the key. I went to all these Bigfoot research groups, huge groups, in all these major states, and said, "Hey, let's go prove Bigfoot's real in a court of law." Because I did it in British Columbia, and I got the information I required, and I was ready to do. I'm ready to do court cases like crazy to prove Bigfoot's real. I'll smoke fish and wildlife. But yeah, it was Claudia Ackley that stepped forward and said, "Put my name on the paper." And she's it has to be a California citizen, a person who lives in that state, or a citizen of Washington State, or to go to Supreme Court in that state. So I needed her. It was my evidence and all my people that was supporting Claudia Ackley, and her evidence as well that she filmed the Sasquatch. So Willie Doit and Betty Don't. When an encroachment, this is a person. When an encroachment of their area happens, like a road, do they move back so far as they never come back? Do you think they'll just move till well, it's going to be different in every situation. There is no, it just happens that way. Every group is going to be different. Every group is going to react different. It's like the Cree reacted different than the Blackfoot, reacted different than the Kootenai, reacted different than, and you can't say it's a specific way. In Nordegg, in Nordegg, they didn't move away. They left signs, they left tree breaks, there were sightings, and they held their ground, and they still are there. So in the Nordegg research area, and it's fantastic. But if people keep coming there, if houses get built, it would push them back. I'll tell you this equation for sure: wilderness is their habitat. Loss of habitat equals loss of life. That's a pretty simple, I think, undeniable truth. The more we encroach upon their wilderness and take their wilderness, the less habitat they have at the end of the day. So that's for sure. Hello, the footage you got on Bigfoot is incredible. I love looking at that footage, man. I do. I'm very proud of it. It's something I'm just really really happy with. Dr. Green Thumbs. Any news on the Discovering Bigfoot 2 release date? Yeah, November. So November for sure. And they're going to release it in a series, and uh, that's what I've been told last. I handed in everything, gave them all the footage. They're going to do some AI stuff with it, as in do cutaway shots. And when I talk about Sasquatch, they'll do cutaway shots of a Sasquatch moving, perhaps, and stuff like that. But yeah, they're gonna do some work on it, and they're Warner Brothers. They're gonna figure it out. I did all the work for Discovering Bigfoot Part One, and I'm gonna let them do a lot more work. I'm gonna give them a lot more creative controls. And they could make a debacle of it. They could make it better than I could ever imagine. I'll just have to wait and see. And I'm willing to accept the consequences because I just don't have the time to do the work like I used to. Get into the body alchemy if your body is in the right alchemy cancer tribe. I don't know what that means. Todd, do you believe that Sasquatch families will move into small farming communities for a short period of time as they migrate? Well, like I say, they're capable of anything. It's one dog will bite your face off, the other dog will cuddle you and snuggle you. Like dogs are different personalities, cats have different personalities, Sasquatch individuals have different personalities, and troops are led by different leaders. So there's really just no, they're capable of so much, and I would never put limitations on them. So check out my videos on YouTube. Thank you so much, Roy. You're just killing it out here. Appreciate your help, my friend. So almost 15 minutes in. It's almost time for the announcement. Can Sasquatch swim? I would think not. They have the aquatic ape build like we do with the hooded nose. Definitely. When I see those open noses like a gorilla, I've never seen that in a Sasquatch. I've never found a credible witness that saw that. So definitely hooded nose. With their body composition, I mean, their muscularity is awesome. Like chimpanzee kind of muscles just rippling like huge. Like you can see their muscle through their hair, which is awesome because they have thick hair. So and low body fat. Where are you going to get fat out from the elk and the deer and the rabbits? And there's so little fat. The berries, there's just almost nothing for sugars and fat in their whole ecology. So they don't build up fat. Like bears have a hell of a time building up fat. It's incredible that they do. But and the best bears that build up fat are around salmon, and salmon have huge fatty deposits, which is essential for a bear in their hibernation. But I think they would sink like a rock. I think their body composition. When I was a little younger and I was doing my lifeguard work and I was playing football and I was really lean and muscular, and man, I couldn't float for nothing. It was part of my lifeguard training was I had to extend back and take a deep breath and float, and I would sink to the bottom like a rock, like boom. I would hit that. Like eventually, it just gave me a buy on it because it wasn't my fault that I didn't have my body fat percentage was low. Not that, but just the muscle density was hard, and I'm nothing compared to a Sasquatch. So I I think they could grab a log, like intelligently think like I used to do this when I was little, grab a log, jump in the river, and go for a boot, right? Just ride the log. So sure, they could do stuff like that, and I've heard eyewitness accounts of them doing that. But just swimming, I don't think they're just so thick, so heavy, so heavily muscled. I think they would just sink like a stone. So or stay away from deep water, right? And then Royal says, and then Royal says, yes, they can swim. So what do I know? Because Royal Creations has perspectives that are brilliant. That's just my perspective. I mean, maybe they have those big feet and then kick them so fast with those incredible muscles, they just move like a motorboat. So I just based on even like gorillas are terrible swimmers, and so are chimpanzees because of that muscle thickness, muscle density. But that's just my perspective. And total respect to Royal Creations. I'd love to hear what he has to say about it. Hey, Todd. So, John Hunsinger on here today. Thanks for coming on, my friend. I think it's time for the announcement. So, I'm only going to do 15 more minutes of show because I got 5,000 things to do, but preparing for expeditions. So, what happened was Kennel Joseph, there it is. Kennel Joseph uh, made an agreement to come out here on just 4 days. So what I agreed to do, they really wanted to do an expedition with me badly. It's Kendall Joseph and his people. He's kind of known for being a bit of a prankster, but I made it very clear you can't be. There's no pranking out there. Like he seemed very legit with me, and if maybe people think he's going to run around in a Bigfoot suit or something stupid like that. That is absolutely preposterous. There was no chance he was going to do anything like that. He would freaking die. You run around in the bush out there, and I was having nothing to do with that. I believe he came out and he just wanted to do some Bigfoot research, and I wanted to show him a Bigfoot. So, so I only have like 8 days between expeditions that I have off generally, and so I was doing that I wasn't taking the time off. I was out on an expedition, and then 2 days off, 4 days for him, and then 2 days off. Well, he didn't show up, or it was a lot. Like I thought he was in for sure. I went and got so much stuff ready, guys. I was so prepared to do this expedition. I had all a huge plan. I worked my ass off, spent like, probably 20 hours working, getting everything ready, getting all the preparations done, making sure he was going to have a great expedition, taking him to a great spot. Let's put everything in order. I was going to take him to the same place that David Avocado Wolf had a sighting with my son last year. The same exact spot we were going to go to because I knew there, and it was getting Sasquatch activity at that time of year. And he was booked for his flights, and he was agreeable to the contract, and everything seemed on board. One of his camera guys flew down, right? And I know that because Canadian Customs called me and said, "This dude, I got a guy here who says he's gonna film a Bigfoot." So he found out I was Todd Standing, legit, and he let the guy in. So I know a camera guy made it down here, at least one. But he just kept getting pushed back, and it didn't work out. He did not come. The expedition did not happen. So, and you can look him up, Kennel Joseph, Kanel Joseph. Yeah, look him up. That's he was the guy that was supposed to come out. Apparently, he was in Japan last month, just doing I don't know something else, like trying to get out of that hole. And I looked him up, and I had some colleagues of mine look him up, and he's doing like he's not doing like hurtful pranks. He's just trying to be like funny about the silly things in our society, and they seem to be like jokes of integrity. He wasn't being a scumbag or hurting anybody or anything like that. So, but he wants to change his mode of operation. I was going to get him an excellent video, cutaway shots of all kinds of animals and bears and mountain lions and wolves, and make his production amazing with aerial drone shots. Um, and he's part of an agency. He's got other YouTubers that his agency represents that want to come out and do stuff with me, and I'm agreeable. And it did not work out. So he did not show up. I had to go out and have do a few days of the expedition anyways, because I had trailers and I had food and massive amounts. I'm telling you guys, I was ready to rip. This is something I did a little video about. So for those of you who uh, do expeditions with me, and I'm very grateful, colleagues that or people that are turning into colleagues. Um, the odds of me showing up for the expedition, it says this in the contract. You could get full refund, everything full refund, 100% right back to you if I don't show up. Guess how many times with the TV shows like Survivor Man, lots of other deep call out search and rescue, dozens of TV shows I've hosted, probably 30 expeditions now, week long, real serious expeditions, done at least 20 TV shows. Guess how many times I didn't show up or I wasn't able to attend the expedition? It's really easy. Zero. I always show up. There have been times when I got there and I was sick, or I had, sick for a couple of days and I wasn't functioning at optimal, but I'm going to be there. And, because people get sick, I get ill, but I'm going to bust out of it. Like on the All Lady expedition this year, the lady Karen, she got COVID, like the Omicron crap. She got that on the airport on the way in. 2 days into the expedition, she got devastatingly ill. 3 or 4 days in, I got it. So I was down for a couple days, like devastatingly ill, like just horribly kicked my butt. It was so bad. But the expedition still transpired, and we still had tremendous success. So yeah, that's the news with that. I was Jay Didion last year. Was part of the same group. He was supposed to come out. It was way closer with Kennel. I was speaking with Kennel day of. We were working out and making agreements, and everything was fluid and happening. And I'm very disappointed. I am. I was very excited to do the expedition, and it sucks that it didn't happen. And there's nothing, so it just ended up being nothing. Yeah, and I'm very unhappy about it. So, what kind of peptide am I taking? CJC 1295, and then BP7. Now it's the BP7 peptide that I think has really cured me of this horrible illness, this cough and stuff that I had. So, Todd, you should try hyperbolic oxygen chaining for your cough. I think that the BP7 and the CJC 1295 is more effective. And I'm actually correct about this stuff. And I've been using these peptides for like at least a decade. I've been researching them and experimenting with colleagues of mine and on myself. So they're legit, man. They work and there's no side effects. So they have as much side effects as eating egg whites. So as in none. Dr. Green Thumbs, cool. Look forward to it. Thank you. So I'm just gonna do a few more minutes of the show, guys. I have to get all this stuff prepared and ready. It takes me days to get my expeditions rolling, and just massive amount of work I have to do. David Daniels says, I remember first time I saw Todd at rescue TV show, Call It Search and Rescue, about hiker went missing and then came out days after with amazing footage we have now. Yeah, wasn't that cool? That was so cool. So that you should know, Daniel, that some haters, lying, deceitful, dishonest people came out because Search and Rescue went looking for me. Yes, daughter. I'm doing my live show, Tatiana. That's cool. I'll be out in 10 minutes, okay? I'm still a single dad. That's my beautiful girl. But yeah, so what people were saying is they were saying Search and Rescue never went looking for me, and I was hoaxing the whole thing. Like, these people that say that, these liars that say stuff like that, like Cabin in the Woods just did a video talking about, man, people will lie about me. They will lie. They are dishonest, deceitful. They shut up. Like they did whole little videos and whole productions about how no search and rescue, and they called search and rescue, and there's no search and rescue. I'm lying about the whole thing. The RCMP were involved legitimately, like the police here in Canada were involved. Search and rescue was like the B team was involved, then the A team came out and helicopters. It was legitimate search and rescue, and I got Sasquatch footage on that particular expedition. It kicked my ass, and there was an incident with the grizzly bear too that was very dangerous. But yeah, it really happened. And then when Call Out Search and Rescue, a TV show that does episodes on Call Out Search and Rescue, and they freaking interviewed the rescue teams that were out there, those lying, deceitful little scumbags that are, oh my God, they're so numerous and they're still out there lying. They're still popular. These complete liars that were busted, they just took their videos down and shut up. And nobody holds them accountable for their lies. You know, it's like news broadcasters. You catch them lying and they just lie and lie and they get away with it and they just keep lying. Politicians lie and they get away with it. And, you know, it just keeps going on and on. So it's very frustrating, but that's the reality of the world we live in. Hello, Todd. Peace from Yowie country. So Yowie, that's in Australia. So we're an international show. That's super cool. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Todd, do you think Sasquatch is an animal or a spiritual being? Well, aren't we animals? So we are. Are you animal, vegetable, or mineral? Animal. So, I mean, we're in the animalia specifically. Specifically, we're hominids. They're hominids. Do you want to be that? Like they're the closest living relative to closest living relative to human beings for sure. I don't want to get into that too much, but we can. It's no doubt about it. They're probably more like a subspecies of us than a separate species like a gorilla or chimpanzee. And they are very spiritual beings in that what I can tell you is their telepathy is off the chart. And from my perspective, and what I see is spirituality and telepathy are like bullets and guns. They work in conjunction precisely with one another. When you become telepathic and you understand your frequency, you become more spiritually connected. You become more spiritually aware of all the life force energy around you. They just go hand in hand, and that's my experience. And that's my knowledge of it. The more I connect to the earth, the more spiritual I become, the more my telepathy, my telepathic abilities are going through the roof. And it's an absolutely beautiful way to live. And I'm so grateful that I'm on this journey. Tim Half Hayford saw a video called "Bigfoot Mystery Finally Solved," and isn't isn't good. They proved in many ways how U footage is most definitely real. I'd say that everyone should see it. Oh, that's cool. Was that Cabin in the Woods? Yeah, I can't talk. Well, Cabin in the Woods did such a good thing, that such a good video, if that's the one you're talking about, that he's coming on an expedition in October. John Hunsinger saw it and said, I want that dude on my expedition. John Hunsinger owns the best expedition of the year, which is the last expedition of October. It's his. This is his like third or fourth year owning it. And he said, that's my expedition and I want this dude to come out. And even more than that, John's paying for him to come out. Like John said, get him out here. I'm paying for it. I want it to happen. So Cabin in the Woods is going to do his reward for doing that excellent piece of work. Congratulations to you, Robert. Is he got a call from a powerful man, and that man said, "Get him out." So Cabin in the Woods, that documentary, I'm pretty sure it's the same one you're talking about. Is he's coming and doing? He's going to be boots on the freaking ground, doing an expedition in the radium hotspot that we're having all this incredible success. So really, really cool stuff happening this year, guys. Um, yeah, I'm very excited about the expeditions coming because this next expedition, I did some recon, man, Logan and Billy, and now it's Lewis. So Lewis is ex-military, he's an animal predatory expert. Logan is he's got all the cameras and set up. He does apps. So he's got the Discovering Bigfoot app where you can watch live outside in the research area right now and when I'm out there. And Logan is just an amazing guy. He's a programmer and does amazing things. Billy is an ER doctor in the southern United States. So these three dudes are going backcountry with me, and I got a spot for them. So that's the announcement with that is Logan and Billy and Lewis don't even know that. I did some recon. Man, I found a spot. Woo! Man, we're gonna go kill it. It's really exciting. So a spot I didn't even know. So I don't want to reveal too much details about it, but I found a way across this raging huge rivers. I found a way. I thought we were gonna have to like raft across and stuff. Oh no, I found a way across this huge raging river, and we're gonna get into this area that's like awesome, incredible Sasquatch habitat, closer than I've ever gotten expeditioners to where I filmed Jake, Jane, Kubota, Video 6, Video 7, Thermal, all those videos. This is definitively. So we did with Lewis, Frank the sniper, and another gentleman, the half Apache man. Um, we went and did the expedition, and it was a crap show. We got our ass handed to us. The mountains have all changed and eroded away, and the paths aren't there anymore. So that was a disappointing expedition. This one is going to definitely get us closer. We're going to do recon. We're coming on the backside into this incredible region, and I want you guys to all get excited about it because that is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So sometimes we go out and we fight like, man, that hike, oh my god, with Lewis and Frank and the Apache was like, it was freaking brutal. It was so hard. We stayed in the backcountry wilderness, and had very little. I heard one Sasquatch knock and found, one really cool tree break, and precipitated very little success. And we got our asses kicked. It was minusculely successful. That's what recon is. Sometimes you go out, sometimes you get your ass kicked, and go, don't go that way. I may never go back that way again my whole life. So we're trying to find a new way into this incredible habitat where the Sasquatch come. See, the Sasquatch, when they come see us, they come from this area. When I go into that habitat, everything changes. They don't back away. That's where I was getting my footage, and I haven't been back there, gosh, like in a decade, I think. So lots of really exciting things happening, guys. I can't do much more of the show. Like I said, I got like so much work to do. I'll be up till for the next 5 hours working, getting this stuff ready. I still have to contact my expeditioners, and it's one more thing. I don't know why it's non-Malinus. It's got a big name. Hi, Todd was wondering about virus crossovers from human to Sasquatch. 100%. Viruses will cross over from humans to gorillas to chimpanzees like crazy. So, yeah, that would. I'm very, very certain, and I've talked to high level. I have some people that are experts in that area, and they say, yeah, absolutely, the viruses would cross over, probably be much more destructive to Sasquatch than to us. So that's my live show. In case you missed it, it was Kennel Joseph was the YouTuber, and he was attempted to come out, and he was not. He didn't. He didn't get here. So, yeah. I'll tell you something. I hate to say it, but when it comes to celebrities, when celebrities sign up, and I've had major celebrities sign up to come out here, because Survivor Man showed up, it's 95% of the time they don't show up. So celebrities at all levels. So, and it sucks, and I always have an open heart, and I'm always happy to work with them. But yeah, it sucks, and I'm disappointed. But we'll keep pushing forward. Like to keep having success with other people in social media avenues. So if you know somebody who possibly interested in coming out and seeing a Sasquatch, there's no space anymore. Kendall said, please, can we reschedule? Please, can we? I have nothing. I have no more. And it killed me to do that I did for him already. It kicked my ass. It was so freaking hard. I don't want to do, I'm not doing that again. I can't. So it's hard enough just doing these expeditions as it is. Very difficult. So there'll be no more. All the expeditions are planned, booked for the rest of the year. I'm very, very happy about that. And so the next expeditions after, so October I end them when it snows. And then the first expedition is Nia Bay in Washington State. I'll do those in like April-ish. And then it's June is when they start in 2026. So there's Sean texting me right now. So I got to get talking to him and keep preparing stuff. There's been no videos. I helped Cabin in the Woods. I helped Todd Gates a little bit. They both had spectacular little videos they did in conjunction with me. So those videos are out there. Other than that, and then Gaia was great. But other than that, guys, I just been like, it's been so much. So just totally devoted to the boots on the ground, making sure we precipitate excellent success this year, trying to get more evidence to move this discovery process forward. The best year I've ever had in my whole life with Sasquatch by far. So it's a very exciting time, and I have really high hopes. So take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.